Our opinions aren't too tough, rough, or gruff. We are proof that you don't have to be an expert to have an opinion. So just
Shut up and sit down.
This is Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff.
This is Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff.
Let's go,
Alex. Why you gotta rush?
As we?
Why you gotta rush it?
Well, because I'm not used to the plus yet. This is episode 3 with the plus, I think.
I was like so excited for it, and then Jim just kind of stole my thunder. But we'll move
I
on.
know. I'm
He's
sorry.
upset with this Reese's Puff that he just says it blew up.
Yeah, my Reese's, it just blew up. It
How
was
does a
ridiculous.
Reese's blow up?
How? Yes, that's what I wanted to know.
So the
I see.
bottom kind of just separated.
So it didn't blow up.
You're like aggressively separated.
Yeah, it just went pow.
You should not eat that one.
Peanut butter expanded quickly. Get that
It
out of the
did.
way.
Right.
If Jim makes an immediate exit from the podcast because something's happening in his intestines,
His,
explosive Reese cup.
Right?
his colon has separated explosively.
Jeez.
Today is Monday, July 18th. I am Muff, the original degenerate, steering this rudderless ship towards whatever we're going to get to.
I am Jim, the Ohio State homer.
And I'm Alex, the medical degenerate.
So you're now just an Ohio State homer, not an Ohio homer anymore, Jim?
I was going to say, he really narrowed it in.
Well, we're getting closer to the football season, so today I'm the Ohio State
I
homer.
was just going to say, is the state going to be like trademarked for you? Then that would be the Ohio State homer.
There's parts of Ohio that I don't necessarily want to claim. So today, I am the Ohio State homer.
So just today, though.
Just today. Things might change. We'll see.
He's going to try to trademark another article of the English language later.
Yeah.
Of the homer of Ohio.
Of the state of Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah.
You see it coming.
Hey, Yinzers, you got some bad news for you, don't you?
Okay.
With some news, it's not great news. The Yinzer Nation is up in arms because the Steelers have renamed the stadium after the new sponsor.
I will say, I did some research on this topic.
Oh, here we go. You're chasing the bag. I don't want to hear any excuses. You're chasing the bag for that sponsorship. Let's go.
Listen, yeah, I mean, that's it. It's money. But what I'm saying is Heinz came out and they're like, hey, look, no hard feelings between us and the Steelers. I think it was 2.5, whatever million or whatever they were paying per year game, whatever. But whatever they were paying 2.5 for, this insurance thing out of Michigan, they were paying 10. So it's 4 times as much. And Heinz was basically like, look, we'll never match that. They're like, we'd love to be. We'll still stay partners with the Steelers in some other ways, but we aren't going to pay that much to name a stadium. So they can have that. I'm hoping that they'll keep like the Heinz end zones or something so we can keep the catch.
So the Steelers sold out to the state up north. That's what I heard. The Steelers sold out.
For times 4 amount of money. Yeah, I'll take it.
All right.
The contract was up. It was going to most likely not be Heinz again at this point. It was
there was a number of years. It was like 24, 23, something like that years contract. It was up.
So they sold out.
Yeah. After the contract.
They chased the paper.
Yes.
Got it.
If I said, Jim, I'll give you $25 a month if your name is Jim Alex. And Muff says, I'll give you $100 a month if you name your name Jim Muff. You would go by Jim Muff.
Where was Heinz Ketchup founded or introduced?
Pittsburgh.
It's Pittsburgh.
Okay. Where was this insurance company founded?
Michigan.
Huh. So there's no loyalty.
For 4 times as much money and saying we're going to sponsor them in other ways.
The Yinzers are all about that Pittsburgh loyalty, Pittsburgh love, Pittsburgh, until I pay him to love somebody else.
Until you pay me $7.5 million difference.
I just don't want to hear any of that BS. Pittsburgh bullshit.
And
We're-
they're not getting rid of Heinz totally.
Yeah,
Honestly.
Heinz is still a company.
Yeah,
it's
Heinz
still 100 billion times better
Yeah,
than Hunt's ketchup.
they'll still be on the hot dog. We're just gonna put them in the back while we talk about the insurance.
No, they're gonna sponsor a different part, and
Out
they're
of
gonna be
Michigan.
like, they're probably in behind, like, yeah, this is hilarious. Let's let these efforts pay all this money, and we're still gonna be a sponsor.
Yeah, on the hot dog. They'll be the back tier sponsor.
We're still talking about them.
Hey, it's okay if you're willing to give up your values and give up other members of the city.
I gave up my values a long time ago, Jim.
Where was the English language founded? England, Jim?
What's this have to do with the tea in China?
We shall speak Merkin.
The was founded in England, yet Ohio has tried to make it theirs.
Wow,
We did make it ours.
you're expat.
Look at that.
What's your
Look
point,
at that.
Muff?
Look
How
what you've
about Zach
done.
Wilson?
You're that's a weak defense for the fact you sold out a Pittsburgh company. It's okay. You sold him out. But Zach Wilson making waves in the NFL and other places.
Honestly,
Go
I
ahead,
think
Jim.
it's best that we do this podcast like a good out. You're like 2 hours away, Muff's like 30 minutes away, and because I think we might strangle each other at certain points during this. I think it's good that this is a remote event.
Proud of Zach Wilson.
Are you?
Oh, yeah, he's
Heck yeah.
making waves.
Is your wife proud of Zach Wilson? That's what I would want to know.
My wife has no idea what Zach Wilson's done.
Or who Zach Wilson is.
That's
Yeah,
what I
exactly.
wanted to make sure.
Well, more to come on Zach Wilson.
The 150th Open Championship. They do have that in the name, Jim.
Yep.
They didn't trademark they trademarked the entire thing. Has our guy Cameron Smith, the mullet wearing rat stash Aussie himself, getting the W, becoming the second blonde mullet to take the crown along with John Daly. I watched Thursday, Friday, and Saturday mornings to the tune
Why?
of getting up at 4:30 on Thursday morning, a quarter after 4 on Friday morning, and I was up at about 5 on Saturday morning to watch
Wild.
the coverage before I went to work on Thursday and Friday, and then I pretty much watched all of it on Saturday.
For those that are wondering, Muff is single. If anyone would like to slide into his DMs, this is what Muff does for fun.
I enjoyed it.
Holy
That's
hell,
really
why
early
would
to
you wake
watch
up that early to watch golf?
Because I want to
could've
see it
recorded
live.
that shit.
God, okay. All right.
I watched it today.
Yeah, I didn't watch much today because I was actually golfing.
Today was the actual only day that I probably watched any of it.
You watched a good
And
part.
My stepdad made the comment that he's like, Calm Smith kind of looks like Morgan Wallen. And I was like, no, Morgan Wallen looks way more put together than he ever will. But I was like, if you can golf like that, it doesn't matter what you look like.
Do whatever you want. This was Jack Nicklaus's most likely his last visit to the Open Championship. He pretty much has said that he's no longer going to be visiting because he's old. Tiger plays what most likely will be his last competitive round at the Old Course of St. Andrews, which is where it was. And Nick Faldo calls his last Open as he is retiring after the season from the
Isn't it
booth.
Sir Nick Faldo?
He is a sir.
Thank you. Can we address him appropriately?
Wow.
I respect golf.
Alex
I
coming with that
respect
heat.
golf. I respect golf. You respect England?
Good grief. All right.
Do you respect England, Alex?
I don't know. Last show I got kind of beat up, so I just felt like I had to come this show with a little bit of sass.
Coming swinging.
Uh,
All right, be sure to follow us at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter, sportstuffw.com/Jim Ampersand Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, hit the bell, reshare, retweet, double tap,
Like,
ring it.
all of those things. And again, today is Monday, July 18th, and the Pittsburgh Pirates are 39-54 as Major League Baseball heads into the All-Star break with only relief pitcher David Bednar, Pittsburgh native, named to the All-Star team for the Pirates.
But the Pirates won today, Sunday.
Did beat the Rockies.
hey, the only good thing in Pittsburgh is the Pirates. Because they're the only loyal team in Pittsburgh.
Let's be honest.
I think you picked the wrong
Not
team.
true.
They don't sell out.
Oh, you're correct. They don't, and that's why they're not competitive.
Ow.
We've pinpointed the issue.
They sell everything. Everybody.
They do sell everybody to the Yankees, which leads us right into Jim. The off season. Did you just wake up your kids?
I was worried Joe's gonna go up here and kick my ass. I might have.
51 days to NFL football, 41 days to college football.
Gosh, it's getting so close, man.
I know. Gonna be good times.
Whew.
We're gonna step right into the deep waters here, gents. Zach Wilson's girlfriend
Yep.
leaves him. Citing...
Dates his ex best friend.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to add that. I don't think you left that note out.
I did leave that out. Citing that he is getting with his mom's friends as a former Cougar. Wilson's just doing what he's got to do. Am I right?
Did you see Mom's friend?
She
I mean, she's not a 10. She's not a 10.
if she ain't a 10, she's a 9.9.
But she's a solid 8.
I don't think in the spirit of consistency with what we do, we're not going to get into rating females in the show.
True.
Have you not seen the game, Muff?
Bring us back down, Muff. What ex-best friend? Would you still be best friends with him in this situation?
All right, wait a minute.
Who?
Hold on. Map that out for us, Alex.
So Zach Wilson, one of his old best friends in college, is now dating his girlfriend. But she left him because he was sleeping with his mom's friends.
Yeah. So you're saying if I'm Zach Wilson, am I still going to be friends with
the dude
my
that's
friend
dating your ex?
Yeah, probably. Like, yeah, I probably would.
Like, I'm like, hey, she broke up with me because I'm like,
because she caught me banging my mom's
friends. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, really, if we're gonna ruin a friendship, I don't think I'd do it over that.
Yeah, that's not a friend ender. No.
Now, if she just left him, like cheated and left, I can get that.
Oh yeah.
You banged mom's friend.
Yeah, you earned that. Whatever happens to you, you earned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like she thought by coming out and saying like, hey, this is what he did, everyone's gonna be like, wow, a-hole. And everyone's like, yeah, go Zach Wilson.
Yeah, which is, I don't know if that's a good thing, but yeah.
I don't know either, but I think it backfired on her.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Because then people were like, oh, good job, Zach. And then it's like, oh, you went to date his best friend? We don't like you now for doing that. Even though it was like even though she broke up with him for cause.
Yeah.
Right. Like it was for cause that there was a reason she broke up with him, not like she just did it. But
now the mom and the mom's friend, I saw a social media post that they're denying it with a wink wink tongue in cheek denying it. But if it is, it is. You know what I mean? Let him live.
Live and let live. Adam Schefter is getting some heat in the social media and the media world by anonymous sources for his missteps over the past couple of years when breaking stories. Some quote, or a quote, he is your preeminent journalist for the preeminent sport in America. I would hope that as a network you're embarrassed by that, but I'm blown away that ESPN doesn't seem to care. ESPN shares their, as a network, embarrassed by the statements. And just to put a little icing and cherry on top, Schefter was recently rewarded with a $9 million per year contract. I don't know how many years it was, though. We've talked about Schefter and what he's done over the past couple of years. What do we think?
If he's wrong 3 times but lands a groundbreaker 1 time, the 3 times kind of gets forgotten. So I don't like the way he does his business. I don't like that he's wrong. When he backpedals, he sounds like a moron. So I'm not a big Schefter fan. But I get why they keep him around.
People talk about him.
Yep. No news or bad news is good news, right?
Yep.
Any news? I'm more interested personally in who these anonymous sources are. And are these, I don't know, and I know they're not all at ESPN, but like, why are people within the network and these people that are trying to like overtake him in his role? There's also been a lot of people who have left ESPN, which we'll get to a little bit later, in past years. One, because they've been cut. They've had budget cuts and everything. And I'm wondering if there's people just trying to bring him down because they're all going out on their own. And they're like, if I can get one over on Schefter, then it helps me.
I hate saying this because like we're a podcast and one day we may make it famous, probably not, but it sounds like a Golick statement. Like Golick Jr., the way it's phrased for me, it sounds like a Golick Jr. statement. He uses the word preeminent all of the time. Like all of the time. So when I read that, I was like, oh, that sounds
word.
Yeah. It sounds like Golick Jr. And if there's an axe to grind, the Golick family is the first one that comes to my mind.
Not wrong. The Bears acquire former Patriots wide receiver N'Keal Harry for a 2024 7th-round pick, getting one of Bill Belichick's misses in the draft. As you may remember, N'Keal Harry was a first-round draft pick of Bill Belichick. Do we think that he's going to see a resurgence for the Bears in Chicago?
There's a reason why Belichick let him go.
I was going to say similar in a way that I think if anywhere, somewhere like the Bears, where there's not much else to compete with, Allen Robinson's not there anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, they're willing to. They need to get something.
Yeah,
and
I could see him like being good on a bad team. You know what I mean?
The Sith Lord let him loose. There's a master plan behind it.
They got a 7th-round pick. They're getting the next Tom Brady.
Yeah, probably.
Had some OBJ news, Jim.
Yeah, so OBJ woke up and similar. I woke up at the same time and saw the tweet. I grabbed my phone and saw Twitter. OBJ woke up and thought he had signed with the Bills after seeing notifications and a fake post from Bleacher Report. I shouldn't say from Bleacher Report, from a fake Bleacher Report. He even went so far as to shout out Von Miller, his former teammate in LA, who is also with the Buffalo. So he was like, "What up, teammate?" And turns out the whole thing was fake. Well, it was a good fake job. I mean, I thought that. And so when I looked at the notes for us today, I was like, why didn't Muff put in there that OBJ is? And I was like, oh, wait, it's fake. So that's why I put this in here.
Can we talk about how do you as a human being forget you did not sign with the Bills?
Well, because his agent does it. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, but you had to agree to it one way or the other, right?
Well, you got to figure it's OBJ. So he's just like, go do what you got to do as long as I'm getting that bag. Like, you got to figure he's going, if I get this amount of money.
You've said getting that bag twice now.
I apologize. It's my thing today.
Okay, just checking.
I'm seeing if it fits. I'm trying it out.
We'll see. Tweet at us. That's where Jim Muff is
Getting that bag a good slogan for the show.
A good Jim slogan.
Right. I was gonna say, don't lump us all into this. You sink your own ship, not ours.
Speaking of people who may be going to get the bag, Matthew Berry is leaving ESPN.
Yeah.
His last known title was senior fantasy sports analyst. Not even just football, just fantasy sports.
Yeah.
In a statement, Matthew Berry said, "Here's a sentence I never thought I'd write. I can confirm that after 15 amazing years, I'm leaving ESPN." And he added that he came to the company in 2007. Fantasy football was a niche of niche, and ESPN was struggling to keep up with it. And I think we can all say Matthew Berry brought them to the top. Maybe not the tippity top, but was definitely within the sports media world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who do you play fantasy with? You either play with Yahoo or ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what do you listen to, or what do you watch? If it's Sunday morning, you watch stuff on ESPN usually.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're right.
But it's kind of sad to me.
Really?
You're over.
I'd rather. I mean, Matthew Berry, he's like the guy.
Where's he going?
I don't think it's that. I think he's going to try some other endeavors, whether that's him going out on his own or whether he's going to join up with somebody else. I don't know.
I think you should go to Pat McAfee.
I don't think they can afford him.
Have you? Yeah, I don't know. With FanDuel,
Yeah, FanDuel might be able to afford him and then put him in
yeah.
that platform.
I would just like to see Pat McAfee become like a mega sports outlet in his own right, like his own little sect of sports.
I mean, he kind of already is. He's just he's in all the streaming. He doesn't do TV.
That's what he should be. He should just be the king of streaming. I mean, he just signed a hell of a deal with the WWE.
They did bring him back. Michael
So,
Cole was very complimentary.
I think Matt Berry would be awesome if they started doing their own fantasy thing.
They already do.
Do they?
Yeah, the Hammer Dan podcast.
Huh. That's
It's
cool.
already a thing, Jim. Already a thing. Speaking of things that have already been a thing, will be a thing, and will continue to be a thing for an indefinite period of time.
Ugh.
The Houston Texans reached settlements with 30 Deshaun Watson accusers.
Yeah, that was easy. That was I don't even know why this is a story. That was rather simple to fix for the Texans.
But that number's went up.
Yeah, but still, like this was okay. We're settling. We're fixing this up, and it's over.
Yeah, but no, I'm just saying in general. We weren't talking about 30 before. You're talking like 24 and 26.
These are all
Yeah.
accusations. These are accusations they haven't necessarily filed suit
Oh, okay.
necessarily. This is all settlements.
Gotcha.
So this, yeah, TBD.
I think a thing that we haven't talked about, and I don't know if it's still going on. I haven't really watched a lot of Deshaun Watson coverage. I try to avoid it, to be honest with you. But I was sitting at a bar on Friday, and I saw a report that he might not get anything. The investigation's over, and I saw that the NFL might not have enough. I don't know how this could be, but they might not have enough to do anything to it. Was one of the reports I saw.
You gotta have both sides of it. You can't say that it's a done deal until it's a done deal.
I mean, but I'm saying that's one of the
Will
things
be-
that is leaking out.
I will be wildly disappointed if he doesn't at least get some sort of suspension.
Me too. But like, that is the rumor. We went from what is this, week 4 of the Deshaun thing, where we as a podcast have been focused on it,
Mm.
and we went from he's getting a year to he may not get anything. Like, that's the stuff that's been leaking out of this. That's wild to me.
It's a crazy time to be alive.
And who's the guy who bet on the damn games, $1,500, and he's out for how long?
Calvin Ridley,
And how long is he out for?
a year.
At least a year.
Jeez, wow.
A year indefinitely.
Great segue into our breakdown for this week in the NFL. Last week we did the NFC West.
East.
This week,
What's it? No, it's West, you're right.
this week we're doing the NFC South, which includes the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Saints, the Falcons, and the Panthers. As a reminder, last year the Bucs 13-4 get to the playoffs. Saints 9-8, Falcons 7-10, and the Panthers 5-12. The lowly Panthers at 5-12. So we're going to start out like we did last week. We're going to go top to bottom, best team to worst team last year. We'll go through some conversation about each team, and then we will give our thoughts on what we think is going to pan out at the end of this year with the rankings. First up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with losses this past offseason of Mr. Gronkowski, offensive lineman Ali Marpet, who retired, offensive lineman Alex Kappa, Ndamukong Suh, Chris Godwin is not out. He's not a loss just yet. And wide receiver Antonio Brown.
Oh, Chris Godwin's gone.
Where'd he go?
He went to. Did not he go to? Hold please. Just keep
Very
going.
hard to take you serious with that string on your face. Chris Godwin is not out.
He's not.
He is,
Sorry.
he is hurt.
They got Russell Gage. Sorry.
Yes.
From the Falcons.
I just keep playing. I play with my strings.
I don't know who put him in the losses in the notes. It wasn't me.
I put him in as he's injured.
Yeah.
Like they're not expecting him back for several weeks.
I don't know why I thought I mixed him up with someone else, but go ahead.
So I'm considering him a loss
at
for
least a few
now.
months.
Okay. He's not lost from the team though.
No, but like for you fantasy players, keep that in mind.
Additions this offseason for the Bucks: offensive lineman Shaq Mason, defensive lineman Akeem Nicks. Godwin did re-sign on the franchise tag for this year, and they brought in Russell Gage from the Falcons at wide receiver.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know why in my mind I mixed up it.
Well,
Godwin went to the
Allen
Falcons.
Robinson left. I mean, Chicago. I don't know if that's
Yeah, no.
They're both
No,
Penn State.
I genuinely mixed up. Russell Gage came
Oh.
to the Bucks. Chris Godwin did not go to the. I knew that they were together now.
okay.
It's okay.
I'm just admitting my fault.
It's all right. We're not gonna bang on you this week.
Yeah, I was
Um,
gonna say I'm sure it'll come. Trust me.
Which offensively leaves the Bucks with Tom Brady quarterback, Leonard Fournette, playoff Lenny in the backfield at running back, wide receivers Mike Evans, Tyler Johnson, Russell Gage, Chris Godwin when he comes back, and Cameron Brate at tight end. OJ Howard no longer on the team, I believe. I forget where he went. He go to the Raiders? No, I don't know. I forget where he went. Anybody know?
I don't know.
No, I got nothing.
Okay, thanks for looking. Defense. They got Akeem Nicks, obviously, is one of their additions. Levante David back at the linebacker, Shaq Barrett, and they've got Antoine Winfield Jr. still in the defensive backfield. Questions about the Buccaneers.
The big question.
Is Tom still going to be Tom this year?
Year 23. He'll be 45 years old beginning of August. Can he still compete?
I think he's in a division where he can. I think as the season wears on, it's a TBD. I think he'll compete. If he gets smacked around, he might be done. I'm TBD on Tom.
I think he's tough enough that he gets through the season regardless. I think that I could see him not having as great of a season, obviously, but I don't see him like floundering. But I see if it's not a fantastic season, he will 100% retire at the end of this year for sure.
Well, he's got, how much does he have? Like a $300 million deal sitting there waiting for him to be an analyst?
Exactly. But I don't see him being the kind of guy that wants to push it at all. Like, I think when it's time, he knows it's time. He'll get out and take his money and move on.
Todd Bowles.
I don't think he ever wants to be bad.
It's true. I wouldn't want to if I was him. Todd Bowles. Is that going to make any difference in the Tom show?
No.
No, because Arians is still going to be on the sideline helping make decisions.
That's true.
Tom's going to be Tom as far as that. Like, the coach doesn't matter. It's not Bill, so Tom's running the ship.
Got it. Will Gronk make an appearance before the end of this season?
I let Muffnac decide on that.
Okay. Alex, any thoughts? Are you going to defer
no.
to Muffnac as well?
I'll defer to Muffnac for the ultimate thing, but my guess would be no.
Okay. Will the offensive line losses over the offseason be an issue early?
Yes. Tom can't move. Let me take that back. Tom's a great quarterback. He can. But with his age, I worry about him getting hit a lot.
And this is my biggest concern for Tom Brady, and this is the offensive line play.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We think if this is a problem early, are they going to figure it out, or is this going to be potentially an all-year issue for Tom?
I think Tom makes them figure it out.
That's probably right.
Like when I think of like motivational factors, Tom Brady getting hit, I can see him being very motivational as far as stop letting this happen.
All right. Any other thoughts on the Buccaneers?
No, I think
you did good there, Muff. Well done.
Okay. The New Orleans Saints.
Nola.
Losses, left tackle Teron Armstead goes to the Dolphins. Free safety Marcus Williams goes to the Ravens. Additions to the Saints. Safety Teron Matthew. Wide receiver Jarvis Landry from the Browns. And they also re-signed James Winston, Michael Thomas, and kicker Will Lutz, while extending linebacker Demario Davis, who is the unquestionably emotional leader for that team and for that defense.
I think the biggest question mark comes at quarterback. I think these signings are great. The losses aren't terribly detrimental. Losses and additions, they were okay. Not a big punch in the face.
Right. Which brings us to the offense. Quarterback James Winston. Running back Alvin Kamara / Mark Ingram, because Alvin Kamara is unknown if he's going to be lacing him up week 1. Wide receiver Jarvis Landry, Traquan Smith, Michael Thomas, and Chris Olave.
Can Michael Thomas stay healthy?
Is Michael Thomas healthy now?
That's a good question. I think with Landry and Olave, you got some good weapons there.
You're just going to gloss over the
Traquan Smith will
the
just
second best receiver on the team last year.
Traquan Smith will just. It's gonna be Chris Olave now in Jim's mind.
Just
you guys are gonna see, man.
Wait, so the Ohio homer mentioned the ex-Brown Jarvis Landry.
no, the Ohio State homer.
Oh yeah, sorry, you're right.
Jarvis Landry means nothing to him now.
That's true.
As a former Brown, Jim cannot claim him.
Yeah,
I'm glad that it's Jim this week. We're ganging up on, not me again. That was rough.
So Alvin Kamara is awaiting the final, I guess, not judgment at this point. I think with the court, it's the court situation, I think, is playing out. It may not resolve itself until August. And the early reports are it'll be a 6-game suspension for Alvin Kamara.
I mean, fair being fair, I usually root for suspensions when people do stupid things. So I think 6 games is fair here.
explain to me what he did again.
He got into a fight in Vegas before the Pro Bowl.
Beat someone up.
Did he mess someone up bad?
Yes. He got arrested for like battery.
Isn't that fighting?
No, I think fighting's like,
Well, battery's hitting somebody
Right, but did he mess them up?
enough that he got arrested.
yeah,
I mean-
something. If he just hits someone and they don't get messed up, I don't really see them arresting Alvin Kamara.
Injuries from beating. Oh, geez. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I think it's like pretty battered battery.
Oh. Yeah, he should probably get to 6 games. I just saw a picture.
Jim, do you want to share anything you found?
Oh, that was he messed that guy up.
Okay.
Yeah.
6-game worthy.
Yeah.
So on the defensive side,
They've-
from Alvin Kamara's beating, they lost Malcolm Jenkins and Marcus Williams and will replace them with Tyrann Matthew and Marcus May. So 2 safeties out, 2 safeties in.
Yeah, I mean they're set. I don't see any issue on that defense.
Defense over the past few years hasn't been the issue. That's can the
Well, and-
offense score the points.
And they have the defensive coordinator as the head coach now.
So my question is, with Jimmy G out there, why aren't the Saints making a play for him?
Would you rather have Jimmy G over Jameis Winston?
Yes.
Well, they could. I think they're going to wait for see if the 49ers release him and they could make a play on him. I don't think anybody wants to mess with him if they got, because I think he would still have some contract money coming.
Clearly,
Gotcha.
Jim is the Ohio State homer today, because if not, he would be all over the ex-Bengal Andy Dalton as a good potential for New Orleans State.
I don't want anything to do with the Red Rocket.
Listen, have you not seen James Winston's off-season workouts?
Don't you gingers have to stick together?
No.
Oh,
No.
No.
But have you guys seen James Winston's off-season workouts?
no. Is it eyes?
He's hilarious. Well, yeah, he got. I mean, I think he has contacts now.
Yeah, he got
Um,
LASIK or something, didn't he?
Right. So I mean that helps. But he does like some of the weirdest workouts that I've never seen anybody else do. And he just looks like a big goof all the time when he's doing stuff. Like I feel like I want to take him seriously, but I don't know if he takes himself seriously.
This guy stole crab legs in college. I've not taken him seriously from that moment.
Okay, if that's the thing we're worried about that he did
Oh,
in
so wait,
college,
is that the issue?
He stole crab legs.
oh, sell pants. He didn't do that.
No, Muff. Nobody
Sounds like they're
sold.
expensive.
I wish, Muff, that you would actually, like, if you're going to attack the Ohio State thing, you get your facts right. No Ohio State player sold pants.
No, they traded him for tattoos.
Nobody traded pants, Muff.
Pants.
What did Terrell Pryor do?
He sold a necklace.
Oh,
Or he traded a necklace.
He traded or sell it.
pants.
Gold
Either
pants.
one. The
Did
gold
somebody-
pants were not actual pants, Muff. They were a charm. They weren't pants.
Did he sell them? Is that when I say he sold the necklace? It was the gold pants.
You keep calling them pants. They're not pants. They were
It's a-
pants you put on your
I
leg.
was so confused why Muff kept talking about pants. To be
Right?
completely honest.
It's a gold pants necklace.
It's a
What?
necklace with a gold pants charm.
What a gold pair of pants.
Yes, it's a tiny little charm.
No. It's Flava Flav, Big Alex. Don't let Jim get you wrong.
I don't care how big it is. Why is it pants?
All right. So
Ohio
anything
State,
else about the
please,
Saints?
please, Ohio State, tell us why they get
No,
pants.
why is it pants?
It's what they traditionally get when they beat Michigan. I don't
Pants?
gold pants, like gold football pants.
Right, what I said, and now you're mocking me for
But-
Because
calling
you
it
just
gold
keep
pants.
calling it
Of
pants.
all the cool things you could get, like if you beat Michigan, like you get a cool blocko, gold blocko.
Alex, I'm gonna
You
text
get
you these
pants.
pants. Alex, I'm gonna text you the pants.
Okay, I'm not gonna think I'm gonna find it very impressive.
So the gold pants were sold then, or traded.
Traded for tattoos.
Okay, back to this. Jameis Winston stole crab legs.
Yeah.
He's still gonna throw more interceptions than anyone in the league,
We hope.
and the Saints will be average. Moving on.
Is Tyson Hill going to go back to his gadget mode?
No, I think he's forever a tight end now.
You think he's like an H-back kind of?
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, he's got the niche. Why don't we just let him do it?
I think if they desperately needed him, we could see him. But I think that if the only thing I can see him doing is like a every once in a while like wildcat formation type play.
Yeah, that's true. So when the Saints play at home, they wear gold pants, right?
Are we on to the Falcons yet? I'm done messing with you.
Question
Yeah.
on the Saints is Dennis Allen the long-term replacement for Sean Payton, or is he just trying to get him through?
That's
until they
so
can-
weird.
Like, I don't even think about Dennis Allen being the coach, but it's not Sean Payton anymore.
It's weird not having Sean Payton on the sidelines. That's weird. Where is he? What's he doing now? Is he gonna be in a booth somewhere?
I have no idea what he's going to do. I mean, they tried Drew Brees out, obviously, but that I think did not go as well as anybody wanted it to. I have no idea what Sean Payton's going to do with his life. We may find him like here and there. I don't think it's going to be a full-time gig.
Okay. Let's move on to the Falcons.
Go ahead, Jim. Talk about the Falcons for us.
They lose Matt Ryan, Mike Davis, running back, Calvin Ridley to suspension, Russell Gage, a linebacker whose name I cannot pronounce. They added cornerback Casey Hayward, wide receiver Drake London, wide receiver Brian Edwards, and quarterback Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ritter. Thoughts on the losses and additions?
Matt Ryan's a big deal, but they unloaded the salary. Which
Yeah, I think that was great financially, and I honestly don't think Matt Ryan's that good of a quarterback. Hot take, but what they picked up for him, I don't think is that big a deal either.
I forget who they ultimately. I mean, we'll see who they get for that third round pick. Or was that this draft? I forget.
I think that's how they got Desmond Ritter.
That was the Desmond Ritter
I
round.
think, yeah.
Biggest thing I think here, well, aside from Calvin Ridley, but that's whatever. At this point, we've talked about it. Running back, really interested how their running back situation is going to play out.
Earl Patterson.
Well, I know, former wide receiver, got it.
I've never looked at a team, at least since we started doing the show, looked at a team and went, what do they got?
They have Marcus Mariota for no one.
So the best wide receiver in the draft, at least by position, in Drake London.
Well,
He was the number one receiver taken.
so one receiver. So that's all they have. So okay, I'm gonna put all my guys against Drake London, make sure he doesn't catch the ball, and they're just gonna be screwed with Marcus Mariota.
Right.
That one.
Marcus
gotta
is going to
have
run a lot.
One good receiver means nothing.
Right. I think we're going to see Cordell Patterson, just like he has been, be Debo Samuel. But they're just going to label. They were going to label him a running back, but he's going to be doing what Debo was doing.
Yeah.
He was already doing it to some degree. So
what? Somebody's going to get hurt. Like, I wouldn't want to be
What?
quarterback.
what are they going to get hurt because they're like a JV team, or are they getting hurt because
Because there's not a lot there.
How many games before we see Desmond Ritter?
Oh, I think 4.
4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it'll be the second half of the season before we see Ritter.
I'm saying
Starting. You may see him in some mop-up duty somewhere, but starting second half of the season.
Who is their third quarterback? Anybody know? Because I think Marcus Mariota gets hurt.
Alex, does the magic book tell us, Alex?
I don't know. Hold on, please. And the magic book will tell you.
What's the next question, Jim?
What type of offensive output do we plan to see? 0. 0.
Quarterback 3 is from the University of Notre Dame, Ian Book.
Felipe Franks.
Oh, I was on the wrong team. Franks. Where did Franks?
Where's he from, Alex?
It's
Arkansas.
Good
Arkansas.
grief. Even their third guy is not. Oh,
I'm
poor
sorry.
Falcons.
His last name is Franks. I heard anyone that has anything similar to Frank is good. So
From Arkansas.
Arkansas.
I feel bad for the Falcons and Falcons fans.
feel bad for the city of Atlanta.
That's going to be a bad team.
Yeah, they're probably not going to be the best. And lastly, in this division, we have the Panthers. They lose quarterback Stephon Gilmore, quarterback Cam Newton. Obviously, we knew that was coming, and defensive end Daquan Jones, while adding Baker Mayfield and a stable of offensive linemen in Ike Mikwonu, Austin Corbett, and Bradley Bozeman. Also pick up Matt Corral in the draft, and they have DB Xavier Woods and defensive tackle Matt Ioannidis. A lot of additions to this team in the offseason.
So, on paper, this should be a solid setup with let's just say additions and losses. We haven't got to the rest of the weapons, but the additions and losses on paper, this is a good outlook for the Panthers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did a good offseason. It's a good offseason for them.
Yeah.
Which brings their offense, projected starter Baker Mayfield, running back Christian McCaffrey, backed up by Chuba Hubbard, wide receivers DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson.
I don't really care for Robbie Anderson. I never have, but DJ Moore is a solid receiver.
Yeah, Robbie Anderson's always been like it's going to be his breakout year, and then it never happens.
Yeah, no. DJ Moore is the guy who they never call for like a breakout year, but he always has a very stable year.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
So
Christian McCaffrey.
Stay healthy.
You going to draft him, Muff?
I mean, depends on where I'm at in the first round. If I have the number one pick, I will not be taking Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, you heard it here.
I'm not taking with the number one pick. On defense side of the ball, they have at end Yetur Gross-Matos, linebacker Shaq Thompson, Corey Littleton. Corey Littleton's a tackling machine. Always has been.
Mm-hmm.
Really interested to see how this continues. And they have Xavier Woods as well.
If Matt Rule, I think he'll get fired this year.
I was just gonna say, is he on the hot seat?
Yeah.
He's the longest running coach in this division.
Even with a 9-8 season, I think with the roster that he has, I would not, if I was the owner, I would not be happy with a 9-8 season.
I think as long as he has a winning season, he's got another one in him.
I don't know.
Baker Mayfield going to do anything this year? Is being with Christian McCaffrey and being, I don't know, having a stable weapon going to be good for him?
He has to show out with his arm. He has to get the job done.
Is Baker starting week 1?
Yes.
Projected, yeah. You didn't bring him in to not start, I don't think.
Right.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I think the Sam Darnold experience is over.
I think
so
is going to be the next Charlie Batch, decent backup.
Just always going to be there.
Yeah.
A question I have: Cam Newton.
Of course, you have a question about Cam Newton.
I mean, yeah, but my question is like, is he done in the league? Like, is
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think he gets an emergency call up at this point.
Because we just talked about Atlanta. Why not Atlanta?
What's he going to do there?
I would rather have Jameis Winston than Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Jameis Winston. I'm sorry. Fuck. Sorry.
Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ritter.
Desmond Ritter.
Wouldn't he be a 3?
Ian books the
Why'd you want
Saints 3.
I'm not paying Cam Newton what Cam Newton would want to get paid to be a 3.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, we've seen that his arm, they already, yeah, he's not going to work.
Fair enough. I just can't believe that that's the way he goes out. Like I don't know. That's rough. Ugh. All right, fair enough. On to the projections. Who went first? Who went last time?
This
In
is
the order it's written.
well, the order it's written is the same order as last week. I just don't know if we went in that order or not.
I say Alex goes first.
I have bringing up the rear in the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons at a 3-14 season. I have the Carolina Panthers coming in third at a 7-10 season with Matt Rule fired. I have second place and playoff team, the Saints, at 11-6. And I have playoff team Bucks at 12-5.
I don't agree with your Saints call at all. I will go next. I have the Saints at 3-14, and I don't know how I have the 3, to tell you the truth. Falcons, I'm sorry, 3-14. I don't know how I have the 3. The Saints I have at 7-10. The Panthers I have at 9-8. The Bucks I have at 11-6.
Muff.
Okay. I have the Falcons at 4-13, the Panthers at 6-11, the Saints at 9-8, and the Bucks at 12-5.
So we all agree that the Bucks win the division.
And the Falcons
And
lose.
the Falcons lose. It's the
Yeah.
Panthers and Saints we have flopped.
Yeah.
What's your why are you so on the Panthers, Jim? To be the better team.
On paper, I think they have they have the goods for a 9-8 season.
Is this an Ohio Homer take with Baker Mayfield?
No. I just think they have the right stuff. And I looked at their schedule. I think their schedule they can sneak some upsets out.
Such as
I think they'll win the game 1 with the Browns. See, you're gonna make me think about it.
Well, I take that back. I counted that as a win. I would like to see him win. I'd like to see Baker start and beat the shit out of the Browns.
You already said fuck, so
I know.
it's over,
I'm trying to
buddy.
bring it back.
Like they have the Giants, they have the Saints. I think they'll beat the Cardinals.
Do you think they beat the Saints?
you think they beat the
Yeah.
Cardinals?
I think they could sneak that one out.
What is this first half of the season? Because if it
Yep.
is, it's done. Nope.
No,
not gonna
I
happen.
disagree with you.
Not
I
gonna
agree
happen.
with your Browns. I disagree with your Cardinals.
Their schedules, like they play the Falcons twice. That's 2
Well,
wins.
they all play each other twice.
They play. I think they beat the Cardinals. I think they're going to win the Giants.
I don't know that the Falcons win an in-division game.
I think they win the 49ers. They have a shot at.
You're high.
They got the Seahawks and the Lions.
Yeah, that's a win against the Seahawks, a loss against the Lions.
Okay.
Lions have one of the
I
highest paid
feel-
quarterbacks in the league.
I feel good about the Lions this year.
That's
All right.
It's unfortunate.
When I say good, I mean like win like 5 or 6 games.
Yeah.
But I feel good about the Lions this year.
I was saying how good, because I'm gonna hold you to like betting plus the Lions points every week.
No. I'm saying like
two.
6 or 7, like not winning like 1 or 2 games and getting excited, like winning like a solid 6 or 7.
Okay.
Listen, I will guarantee. I can only see guaranteed 4 losses. Guaranteed 4 losses.
For who? The Panthers?
Yeah, that are solid losses.
This
The
is,
Bucks times 2.
this is
And
gonna be
then-
awesome sports
and then the
stuff
Bengals.
season.
The Bengals and the Rams. I can guarantee those are losses.
Okay. So
Then- And the Ravens, so that's 5. And then the Niners and the Cardinals could be 6, 7.
Mhm.
and they run the table with the Saints and Falcons. They win 4 in-division games.
And they got the
lose 2.
Steelers. There's 8. There it is.
Unfortunately, I think Baker's going to have a tough day that day. Not to say the Steelers are going to put up points, but I think Baker will have.
No,
a
I
tough
said
day.
that they'll lose the Steelers. That's my other
Yeah.
guarantee.
Okay. I just don't see it. I don't see the Panthers being able to do it.
We'll see. In fact, I almost want to put money on the 9 and 8. Like I almost want to bet you guys it's a 9 and 8 season.
You just
You're
want to
just
bet
saying
that they're
it's a- so
second.
basically, you're just saying that you bet the Panthers will have a winning season.
I almost want to guarantee that's the outcome. I don't know how to guarantee that outcome, but I want to guarantee it's a 9 and 8 season.
Just say they have a winning season. Just call it that.
No, that's how confident I am of 9 and 8. Bro.
We'll remember that you said it.
Yep.
Okay.
Heard it here first. If Jim calls this right, then he'll get $5.
All right.
Write that down, somebody.
Write that down.
Alex, write that in your book.
Writing it down.
Good job. And that wraps up this week's
The off season. This is Mount Massive.
Yodelay.
All right, welcome back to the Mount. We have the new topic: top 5 most hated people in sports. Now, fellas, I think we approached this from several different angles. I took the stance of today, most hated people from today. I see Muff may have gone a mixture of both. I think Alex did a kind of a mixture of both. We took a couple different turns. I see Muff kind of. I like what Muff did with his attack of Duke, his angle of Duke. I like it. I'm interested in some reasoning. I don't really care about the order. So, Alex, if you did what you usually do
Mhm.
and have no real order, I'm fine with that.
Yep, pretty much.
But I want to know some reasoning. So I would like to get in some in-depth
Okay.
talk about this. I'm going to go first with mine so I can set the tone.
Okay.
Number 5, again, I don't really have an order, but I'm saying 5 for continuity's sake. Skip Bayless. I think a lot of people hate Skip Bayless, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be, people watching the show. People just don't like Skip for his hot takes and basically his arrogance, and the fact he likes the Dallas Cowboys doesn't help. So Skip Bayless is 5. I don't like Skip Bayless because he's an ignorant ass. Number 4, KD, Kevin Durant. I think his team jumping, his general entitlement, his whining, his Twitter usage. A lot of people on Twitter don't like him. So that's why he's 4. Number 3, pick a Paul brother. I'm going to go with the boxing Paul because it's sports, but I think the other Paul brothers involved in sports, I don't know. It's hard to keep track of which Paul, Jake, whatever, but they're very hated.
Isn't the
They
other one
both box.
weird?
Do they?
social media shit?
Yeah.
They also,
They-
yeah, they did,
They both were big YouTube stars.
and they did some really bad shit.
Yeah.
One more so than the other.
Yeah. So I'm not, they're bad. 1 and 2 for me are simply like, I'm going to go with 1. I'm going to go with 2, but you guys, I'm going to switch them up here. Next one up is Roger Goodell. I think everybody in the world hates Roger, whether it's because they think he's cheating for the Patriots or cheating their team or not doing the right thing with the penalties and fines. Everybody, when you step out on the stage for the draft and everybody boos you, Roger Goodell. And this is the reason why I started this topic, Tom Brady. When I'm getting my haircut this week and the hairdresser says, I don't care what team my son likes, he just can't like Tom Brady. I was like, do you watch football? No, not really. But my son cannot like Tom Brady. That's how you know Tom Brady is on a list, because there's so many people out there in the world that don't like Tom Brady. Just Tom Brady, no matter what team he's on, they just don't like Tom Brady. And he's from Michigan, so that's why he's on my list.
I feel like your list is slightly tainted by the fact that he's from Michigan and you live in Ohio.
Absolutely.
I feel like Tom Brady is not on the hate list. He's on the jealous list.
I think a lot of there's a lot of lists out there that I think that's true. Like LeBron's on a lot of lists if you look it up on the internet.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
People are jealous.
Yeah.
Like I think
LeBron is the original team jumper, though.
True.
If you're going to use KD,
if LeBron would have stayed with Cleveland for all these years,
he wouldn't have won as much.
But he wouldn't have the hate.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna go with Alex because I like Muff's list. I can't wait to hear it. So
okay. So same as Jim. I have 5 people, not in any order, but 5. Terrell Owens. I think that he was a cocky SOB as a wideout. Not saying he wasn't good, but I think he made enough people mad. Michael Vick, because he was mean to dogs. Roger Goodell and Skip Bayless both made my list. I think they'd make anyone's list when you're thinking of most hated people in sports. And Coach K, because I think there's just as many people that hate Coach K as there are that love Coach K.
I think that's the jealousy thing too. Same thing with Tom Brady.
No, I agree. And I'm going to let Muff do his list before I say why.
Before you talk more.
Yes.
Okay. So any other thoughts? Mike Vick, I mean, yeah, that's an easy person to not like. T.O. I wouldn't have expected T.O. on your list, Alex. Just wouldn't have expected it. I get it. I just wouldn't have expected it.
I think that's because I'm in a little bit of a different era than you guys. Not 10
Yes.
years old, but saying that I'm younger. That's all I'm saying. But when
I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying I'm young.
Younger. And but when I was young, he was like that, like kind of like the villain. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
the we know he's good, but cocky and I don't know.
That's fair. All right, my list. Again, no particular order here. Kyrie Irving makes it from the professional basketball world. I think he's an easy person to not like, especially over the past few years. And he also gets a bad rap in the media world because he does not engage with them too much. And his recent Stephen A. Smith back and forth, I think, just goes to show, like, when he does, he goes all in and then he's back out because I haven't heard anything more about it. Next, I have Skip Bayless. I think Skip Bayless, between Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless takes the cake as far as like being a hated person in sports. Stephen A. Smith, again, just kind of weaves in and out of that. Sometimes he says things that people don't like.
I think it's funny, and I know he's kind of annoying too, but my mom hates Michael Irvin. Hates him. Like every time he's in, I don't like that guy. He yells too much. I'm like, you have not watched enough Skip Bayless or Stephen A.
The third on my list is insert any Duke player that is the most popular player at that time. So this all goes back to Christian Laettner, and then there was always that player at Duke that everyone loved to hate. And it was like, I think this comes back to people wanted to hate Coach K, but they respected him enough that they had to find a player to hate on that team, and it always had to be somebody.
That's kind of the comment I was going to make without like blowing your list. I think that I picked Coach K because it was easier than trying to pick specifically one of the Duke players.
Right. It's just like,
and I think deep down it comes back to Coach K. He's the common denominator through all of those players. Yeah. But like you said, everyone respected Coach K and what he was and how good he was. So they just chose to project it on insert Duke player.
That's it. Second, I got Roger Goodell, the shield of the billionaires of the NFL. I don't know how you can be a liked person whenever you're doing everything within your power to protect them and their money. And the last person on my list, different from your eyes, is Pete Rose. He's hated so much that they won't let him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So Muff, with your list, two things. Pete Rose, I don't necessarily agree that he's hated anymore as vehemently. I know people hate him, but I don't think it's as strong. To your Duke player list, and this is, I did a lot of recon for my list and hated people in sports. I found a list that had hated people via state, and it was an older list. I'd say 2018.
Mhm.
There was a Duke player, different
Mhm.
Duke player on the list, different state.
Yep.
Like a different state would hate a different Duke player. And I'm not saying it was consistently throughout the 50 states, but like you would go through like Utah hates Michael Jordan because of the playoffs, and then another state would pop up and son of a bitch, it's a Duke player, and then another list would come by and it'd be OJ Simpson, and then another list would be like, oh, there's Christian Leitner, and it was like it always seemed to be a consistent thing that a Duke player is hated somewhere in the United States.
Yeah. There's Grayson Allen.
And I saw your list before I started researching. I was
gonna
like,
say Grayson Allen's a big one for me, but
yeah, I saw Muff's list before I did this research. I was like, look at Muff being a North Carolina homer. And then I saw that list and I was like, there is some legitimacy to people hate a Duke player. It doesn't matter who it is. Some Duke player is hated. And I was like, wow, I mean, that's legit. I also think that we all put Roger Goodell. He was on the list and that state list. Like, people hate Roger. And Skip Bayless is another one that he is hated in states. And so, like, I think those are our consistent top three. And then, like, 4 or 5 throughout the states in America can vary on when you were born, what sport you watch, and the time of year. So, like, if it's football season, you can start to hate Tom Brady, especially deep into a season. If it's basketball season and it's especially during the COVID thing and you're from Boston, you hate Kyrie. Kyrie becomes 4 or 5. You know what I mean? But those top 3 that we mentioned are consistent. So I just think it's funny how people are very adamant about those things. So, and it was fun to watch. It was fun to like research and figure that out.
I looked up some lists in just out of curiosity, and Kobe Bryant made several lists.
Yes.
Now,
and
I'm a
one of the
diehard Kobe
things.
fan. I have been my whole life. He's like my childhood sports idol. But like, I never really thought of him as hateable.
So, and not to get down a deep, dark rabbit hole, some of Kobe's extramarital things.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And some of his accusations of his outside of the game. Same thing with Ben Roethlisberger. He was on a list.
Of them too, yeah.
And it was those kind of things. And I'm not here to say whether he was or wasn't. That's for somebody else. But, you know, that's why he's on the list. I also think the jealousy thing we brought up.
Yeah.
Of course, you also have the big names on there on lists where OJ Simpson, Lance Armstrong, Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Yeah.
All people that can make their own lists. Depending on how you look at it. I don't think Lance Armstrong can be on a list anymore because he's not in sports like anymore. Same thing with OJ. To me, like
OJ's more of a pop culture figure.
He's outside of sports anymore for me. I think Floyd could be on there. But it's boxing, and boxing's kind of dead.
Yeah.
So people don't really think about Floyd. So those 3 or 4, I'm like, meh.
I was thinking like, and it's a little too recent, but I was thinking like Tim Wilson from the Capitals in hockey.
Yeah.
So that was one that popped up for me, but I was like kind of recent, so not as hated as others. But
It's a little bit of a homer take too.
yeah, it is, but he's also dirty. just
Yeah,
across the board. So
It is.
Sidney Crosby made a lot of lists.
yeah, I know, and that's when I really was like, I mean, that's a jealousy take.
I didn't really understand that. So somebody enlighten me.
He has no cheating allegations against him. He doesn't have really any like social issues.
Sometimes people think he's whiny,
Yeah.
Okay.
but I mean, I think it's part of the jealousy thing.
Like
So
Tom Brady, I get like, yes, the jealousy, but also like Deflate Gate and all that crap.
And Muff says, Muff, are you the one who brings up the fact he kisses his kids?
I think, I mean, I brought it up, but I think it's more avocado ice cream for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that's Mount Massive. If you have somebody on your list that you think needs to be on here, hit us up. And I'd love to talk to anybody about who you hate. It's fun for me.
That's not massive.
You're like, who?
He doesn't ever practice. Wow.
This is quick thoughts. Gong.
Muff just burned us on that one.
I know. We were midstream talking, and Muff hits the record button.
I know. We were
Good
telling you
grief.
to practice. We have to
Said you were
practice.
ready. You were looking at me and talking to me like, oh, why didn't you hit the go button? So I hit the go button.
We are professionals, we swear. So this is quick thoughts.
Welcome to this week's edition of Quick Thoughts. We'll start in the world of golf. Aussie Calm Smith wins the Open Championship. Correct use of the in this case. The Open Championship. Shooting a Sunday 64 -8 to overtake Rory McIlroy at the birthplace of golf, the Old Course at St. Andrews. He ties the best score, -20, at a major in doing so. If you won the Claret Jug, go ahead, Muff.
The claret jug.
Claret Jug. What type of alcohol would you fill it with that night? It's not Claret Jug.
It's claret.
Claret Jug.
Yeah.
Jim,
Jack Daniels.
if you please.
That's exactly what I'd fill it up with.
Only Jack Daniels.
Muff.
Mhm.
I think because I would be winning it across the pond, I think I'd fill it up with Guinness.
I'd fill mine with Busch Light.
The fact that I was over the pond would make me further want to fill it up with Jack Daniels.
Because
Because I'd be like, listen, America.
Keeping with the golf theme, despite missing the Open cut, John Daly still played alongside some stars in Scotland on Saturday morning. Daly, who shot 3 over to miss out on playing the weekend at St. Andrews, spent Saturday morning 8 miles down the road from the Old Course at Kingsbarn Golf Links. He was joined by Eli Payton and Cooper Manning, along with country star Eric Church. What would you rather play? The Open or golf with these people? Muff?
the Open, 100 times over every time. Playing the Open Championship, especially at the Old Course, St. Andrews, which is widely considered the birthplace of golf. So yeah, I'm gonna play the Open.
Jim?
Give me Eric Church and the Mannings all day long.
Yeah.
And if John Daly's there too, yes.
I think
Yes.
this illuminates the difference between Jim and me and Muff.
Yes.
Muff, who is a golfer, appreciates the sport, embraces the sport for what it is, like loves the fact that, I could play where golf started. And Jim and I were like, let's get drunk and play golf with the Mannings.
Oh yeah. And Eric Church and them. Yes.
Yeah.
Hands down.
You don't think that they have the opportunity otherwise to do this?
That's true. I guess if you're good enough to play there, you can.
We're
play
not
anywhere.
asking if they can do it. I'm saying it's us, Muff, me and you. We can go play the stuffy, the old course, or I can go play with John Daly,
The
Eric Church,
stuffy
and the Mannings.
course. The stuffy. Do you watch
Yeah.
this? Did you watch this at all?
I don't care about this.
It's a public course.
Nope. No, thank you. Give me Eric Church, the Mannings, and John Daly.
Is
They
that
close
why-
it on. They close it on Sunday so people can walk on there, and they walk their dogs on the course.
Is that why it started so early? Because it's across the pond.
Yes, there's a time difference.
That sucked.
That's why I was getting up, Alex. It wasn't on the West Coast or the East Coast at 4 a.m.
Muff is much more of a loyal.
Yeah, that's why you wouldn't go golf with Eric Church.
Let's move on from golf to the NFL football realm. As already discussed, the Steelers have a new namesake to their stadium. If you could choose any sponsor for your favorite football team stadium, what would it be? Muff. Jim. It's Jim's turn.
That's hard. So it's my stadium, like where the Chargers play.
Mm-hmm.
So it's LA. I would probably say the Jack Daniels Stadium.
I was gonna say I could pick this for you.
Yeah. At the risk of not being ignorant, yeah, that's probably what I would call it.
Probably a good call what you just did there.
Yeah.
Okay, first, Alex, do we know how to say the name of this of
Is
the
it
Steelers?
Acrisure?
It's Acrisure.
It's Acrisure.
Is it Acrisure or Acrisure? I have no idea.
You don't even know how to name. You don't even know the
Heinz
name of
Field.
your stadium. Good grief.
Guess what? I'm still calling it Heinz Field.
Is it the Ohio Stadium or is it the Horseshoe, Jim?
We can use both.
The
And we
shoe.
still wouldn't sell it out like you guys did to a team from up or to a state up north. Ridiculous.
Anyway, let's go with really bad. I would find, like, if it's Pittsburgh, if we're gonna go with the Pittsburgh, I'd find IC Light.
I was gonna say, honestly, I want to say Busch Light Stadium, but I think I'd go with Icy Light because they're the
Gotta go with some Iron City.
Oh, so you'd name something after Pittsburgh.
Yep. Moving on.
Ah,
Gong.
What is Ohio gonna do? What are you gonna name the Horseshoe after if you had to have a namesake to it that was a sponsor?
I don't know, but the fact we'd have to rename it is ridiculous. That'd be hard. I don't even want to think about it. That gives me nightmares. Still, move on.
All right. College football. Pro Football Focus puts out their top 10 quarterbacks in college football. The list is number 1, Bryce Young, Alabama. Number 2, Caleb Williams, USC. Number 3, Spencer Rattler, South Carolina. 4, CJ Stroud, OSU. 5, Sam Hartman at Wake. 6, Grayson McCall at Coastal Carolina. 7, Brennan Armstrong at Virginia. 8, Dylan Gabriel at Oklahoma. 9, Keaton Slovis at USC. And 10, Tyler Van Dyke at the U. Spencer Rattler was benched last year, and Caleb Williams did not play a full season. Thoughts on this list? Muff?
Bryce Young is number 1. You're not gonna, I think, knock people off of that one going into the season. Pro Football Focus is trying to get the likes and the views on this and the discussion. Caleb Williams at USC is TBD. So Slovis is on there too, Jim?
Yep.
I'm still surprised that Dylan Gabriel's still in football. I think it's like his 7th year in college. I don't know. I'd probably put Bryce Young still at 1. I'd move CJ Stroud up to 3 and bumping Spencer Rattler.
Jim?
It's the first time I think in all of Quick Thoughts that I agree with Muff. And I also think, like, how in the hell do you put Spencer Rattler at 3 when he was benched? Like, he sucked. And they put him up there at 3.
To piss people like you off.
That's it.
Mission
Done.
succeeded.
To get you to talk about their list.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying CJ Stroud is anywhere, should be like 1 and 2. I'm not saying that. But Spencer Rattler, come on. Made me so mad.
Yeah.
So thank you, Muff. I agree with you.
I agree with you guys. This changes you made there. Keeping in college football, the director of Big 12 officiating, Greg Burks, stated that even with Texas leaving, the horns down gesture is still a penalty. He says, and I quote, "Let me be very clear with horns down," Burks said. "I have no ownership of this symbol. This symbol is the same as all other signals. It's when you do it, who you do it to, and in which manner you do it." Thoughts on that?
That's the stance. Like, so is there a good way to do horns down That's what I took out of that quote. Is there a good way and a bad way? And can I do it to somebody and it'd be cool and not do it to somebody else and it'd be bad?
I think he's saying it's sorry, go ahead. Muff.
I don't know why we're still talking about this.
I think it's the same as like thumbs down. Like if I do a thumbs down on the sideline, like boo, that stunk. Versus getting in someone's face and like,
Okay, so I can do the horns down to the crowd,
yeah,
no penalty.
that's how I would take it.
On the bench
Right.
Doing the horns down in someone's face.
or in the field of play.
See, I don't get in the field
Penalty.
of play either. I still think that's BS. It's not like you're giving them the finger. I mean,
But that's where it came out because there's the horns down towards like the fans.
that's fair. Who cares?
So if I'm running across, if I score a touchdown, I'm running across the end zone to my bench. I'm looking at the away fans and I'm doing horns down in the end zone. I'm getting a flag.
Laundry on the field.
I don't know that that's necessarily fair.
Muff, what's your thoughts on it?
I already said why
Fair
we still
or not
why
fair?
what the people get a penalty.
Yeah.
I think it's unfair, but what else are you gonna do? It's already written.
So you're okay with the horns down getting a flag like that?
I'm saying we're not gonna change it.
Basketball. Moving on. Thad Foucher, one of the NBA's prominent player representatives, no longer represents Russell Westbrook, citing irreconcilable differences. Foucher believes that Westbrook should remain with the Lakers for the final season of his $47 million contract. Apparently, Russell may not feel that way. Thoughts on this, Muff?
Yeah, Russ is. He's getting towards the end. I mean, he's towards the end of the tail end of his career, and he can't seem to find. He's kind of like the KD, the Kyrie. Like, let me find the next best spot, and if it doesn't work, then I'll keep jumping. He was in a situation which, I mean, I said from the beginning with the Lakers, he was the youngest player on that team, pretty much. This was of contributing factors. So this is, I think, just goes back to the player rep just being like, well, yeah, if you're going to be like this, I'm just going to stop. So I get it.
Jim?
All of what Muff said. And I think it's a unique situation because this Foucher guy was with Russ for 14 years. To cite irreconcilable differences is almost like a marriage, which is kind of what this was. I think Russ catches a bad break of the three that were together. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a basketball like guru, as I say. Russ, James Harden, and KD were together, correct?
Yes, in Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
KD and Harden played their cards correctly and played them well enough. And KD and Harden played their cards correctly. Russ stayed true to himself and the team. And this agent stuck with him. And I think now the agent's going, listen, we had a hell of a ride, but playing it out and sticking your way of doing things is going to be costly. I don't think this is the smart move. And I think Russ needs to heed those words, in my opinion.
I think all of that's fair. I think that's basketball talk for now.
Yeah.
I think we're burned out on NBA talk.
Yeah.
No drama. But baseball is exciting. So let's go to baseball. Broadcaster Fox Sports saw a swift backlash during the game, part of its Baseball Night in America telecast, after it came out of commercial break with a graphic depicting the two rivals' logos overlaid onto reflecting pools of the National September 11th Memorial and Museum.
It had for clarification, it had the Red Sox and Yankees logos in the September 11th Memorial pond.
Is that a mess up, Muff?
I mean, it's not in the best taste. I mean, usually you see this in these baseball games and the telecast where they will do that overlay over like something of prominence or something that people recognize in that particular city. This was just the wrong monument or whatever to do it to. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like they got rid of it. I mean, they didn't do it again, I don't think, did they?
No.
Yeah.
Jim.
So
that's a goofy screw up, and they should have seen that coming. Like they should have thought about that before they did it. I understand they do it no matter what setting they're in, but that one they probably should have laid off.
There's a lot of things in New York City.
Right.
Yeah.
Should have
I
thought
lied.
better.
I lied. We're not out of basketball. We're going to talk about one more basketball topic. Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
A lawyer for WNBA star Brittany Griner at her drug possession trial in Russia on Friday gave the court a U.S. doctor's letter recommending that she use medical cannabis to treat her pain. 2 members of Brittany Griner's Russian club team appeared as character witnesses in her trial Thursday, telling the judge that she has been an exemplary player and citizen during her 6 seasons in Russia.
Stop there.
Jim?
Muff. I put all those 2 points in there to go. It's Russia. What good is that? Those 2 things don't mean shit.
You have a problem with pain? Drink vodka.
Right? Oh, fellow Russians came to speak. You guys don't count because you're just Russian citizens and we make the rules. That's my only point to that.
That's it.
Now go ahead.
LeBron commented on the situation, quote, "Now, how can she feel like America has her back?" Unquote. James said in a trailer for the latest episode of his talk show, The Shop Uninterrupted, which airs on YouTube, quote, "I would be feeling like, do I even want to go back to America?" End quote.
Muff.
Jim.
I want to know Muff's thoughts
LeBron.
On that comment.
Well, then if she wants to get the hell out of Russia, so whatever country you're going to, it's not going to be there, hopefully. I mean, LeBron, if that's how you want to go with this, then cool. I mean, she's not coming back to a place that has helped you become who has given you the opportunity to be who you are, LeBron. So I think that's kind of like I get the situationally this is like a statement to make, but let's not sit here and bang on America that badly right now, LeBron.
Obviously, she's not. No, Ryan, go ahead.
I understand the premise of our government not sending in the SEALs to come get you. Our government's not adamantly, openly seems to be not negotiating for your release. As we've said numerous times, they're in the middle of a war. We're trying to, it's a tense situation. I understand how LeBron could say this. However, do I even want to go back to America? To your point, Muff. Well, I don't want to stay in Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's obviously trying very hard to get back to America at this point.
Or at least get out of there. Like,
Right.
If she
I'll
finds
go
another place
but here.
right? If she finds another place she'd rather be, good for her.
Correct.
You do you.
Correct. And like, there's a reason why I guess again, Muff, you've said this several times on the show. There's a reason why she was in Russia, LeBron, to make money.
Right.
Because we ain't paying her here. So like, I get your point. Do I want to come back to America? But like, she goes to Russia and gets thrown in jail. So where do you want her to go? Because nobody's really paying her much. So LeBron, I think, and I don't want to be the shut up and dribble guy, because that's not what I'm saying here. But I think LeBron's kind of speaking out of turn here when he says something like this.
6th most hated person in sports, Jim Compson, for what he just said.
Right? Like sometimes I just feel like LeBron, you're over dramatizing this situation.
In our last topic in hockey talk, Johnny Gaudreau stunned the hockey world on Wednesday night by foregoing expectations and deciding to sign with the Columbus Blue Jackets, signing a 7-year, $68.25 million contract. Jim?
I am not a hockey guy. I am not a Blue Jackets guy. But this signing is huge for Columbus. Huge. A legitimate pro athlete signed and wanted to come to Columbus. Huge. It sparked so much excitement for the city. And it might turn out to be nothing. I mean, it's hockey and who knows. But like, wow. Fantastic.
Muff?
I think Johnny just wanted to get out of Canada. He left money on the table with the Flames to take this, and this is actually, like, we'll say it's a good guy move because he actually is going to make less in Columbus than he would have been making in Calgary. So,
But he could have gone to Staten Island. He could
You
have
just learned
gone.
that Canada's never going to win a Stanley Cup, so might as well try something else.
He could have gone to a couple other teams in America. So don't just downplay. I'm going out and trying to escape Canada, you jerk.
I just said he made a conscious decision to sign with Columbus for less money. So obviously there's something either about Columbus itself or that situation professionally for him, like to be on a team, and he wants to. I mean, 7 years, so I mean, even if they're not instantly competitive, he's got time to be there and help build the team. So yeah, it's good for him, good for Columbus.
And that wraps up Quick Thoughts.
We now conjure up the old mighty Muffnac. Oh, mighty Muffnac, we call upon thee. Are you out there, oh mighty Muffnac?
Yes.
Muffnac, we call upon you once more for your predictions on the NFC South. Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, mighty Muffnac.
Yes.
Will Gronk return to the Bucks after training camp?
After training camp, Mr. Gronkowski will not come back to Tampa Bay. He will continue a life full of luxury on the West Coast.
Will Baker Mayfield have his own commercial with Carolina?
Baker Mayfield is going to be leaving the Cleveland Browns Stadium, only to be welcomed by Matt Rule. And Matt Rule will whisk him away to Carolina to get away from the bad man Deshaun Watson.
Almighty Muffnac, who is the quarterback of the future in Atlanta?
Hotlanta. The quarterback of the future will be none of them that are there right now.
Do you have any idea who it could be?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Last question, Almighty Muffnac.
Yes.
Who is the quarterback of the future in New Orleans?
New Orleans needs no quarterback of the future. They have the quarterback in Jameis Winston.
Thank you for your time, Almighty Muffnac. We will call upon you next week.
Yes. What division is next week?
We have to check with Muff. He makes those decisions.
NFC East, Muffnac.
Oh, the East. I like the East.
We will see you then, Muffnac.
Yes.
Bring forth the Muff, please. You just missed our seance, Muff.
Seance?
Mm-hmm.
We conjured up the Muffnac spirit.
What did Muffnac do?
Well, he just gave us, the outlook for the NFC South.
Yeah, I'm sure that was interesting.
It was. It was.
All right. That wrap up the show then?
Yeah, go
Hell
ahead.
yeah.
All right. That's Sports Jim Muff on Instagram, Twitter, sportsstuffw/Jim _ Muff, Facebook, YouTube. Like, rate, subscribe, comment, review, like, retweet, share, all of the things. Next week, we're talking about what, Alex? The NFC East.
East.
Correct. The East.
I have a
NFC
Post-it
East
note on the
mode.
wall.
You have posted on the wall.
Yeah.
Get your own post-its on the wall. We're going to be sponsoring we're going to be a whole sponsor.
A whole sponsor.
A local wheeling event.
A whole sponsor of a hole.
We're going to sponsor a hole, a golf hole for a fundraising event. So we're going to come on that later. But to make sure that we continue to have Muffnac come back, to make sure we continue to talk about the NFL, to make sure we continue to get ready for football season, listen in, do all the things. And once you get that, make sure to tell a friend, make a friend. Be
Friend.